Shake it like you mean it, baby. Come on and dance with it. Come on. Shake it like you mean it, baby. Come on and dance with it.
Hi, I'm Jude. Welcome back. This is my Miracle Facelift Part 2. The name of my channel is Reborn at 69, and I feel reborn at 69. I'm 69 years old because of this amazing experience that I had literally like 4.5 months ago. I just feel like a different person. And I took you through in part 1 the initial stages of this experience. So we started with why I had the facelift, selecting my doctor, what made him special, and then getting ready for the procedure, the actual surgery, and then we went through post-op for months 1 and 2. I showed you pictures before and afters. Now, since I'm about 4.5 months out from the surgery, I like to take you through the biggest gains that I've noticed in months 3 and months 4. And I'll show you pictures so you can see the evolution and the metamorphosis of my look as we went from surgery and then where I'm at now. I'd also like to cover supplementation. Many have asked me, well, what did you do to enhance your healing? And I did engage in very specific supplementation. So I like to share what worked for me and why. And then we'll also talk about scars. I'll show you pictures of my scars and show you the product that I use daily, twice a day, to protect and enhance the healing process so that I'm not left with visible scars. And then finally, I will provide pricing information. I am not shy. I will share it. And what I'd like to do is share pricing across all 4 surgeons that I consulted with, so I can give you sort of a range of what I found. If those topics appeal to you, please stick with me. We're going to dive right in right now. Don't forget to hit the like button if you like what you hear, and subscribe, because this is just the initial step in hopefully a series that will be both empowering, entertaining, and form a community of like-minded individuals. One of the big gains that I've had in months 3 and 4 is the recession of numbness. Shortly after I had the surgery, I realized that I did have numbness and my face felt a little bit rubbery. When I would touch it, it didn't feel like my own skin. I was numb on my cheeks. I was numb in the outer parts of my forehead, by my earlobes, and then right under my chin. Around the middle of month 3, that all started to get much better. In fact, the left side of my face, this whole area, the sensation returned, I would say, during month 2, but during month 3 and certainly during month 4, most of the numbness that I had receded, and it continues to improve daily. The second area where I've seen a lot of gain is from the tight neck sensation. So right after your surgery, you do feel like your neck is very tight and you feel like you have a choker on. It's very common, it's to be expected, but that sensation has relaxed. And starting in, I would say, late month 3, I really didn't have it much when I wake up in the morning like I used to. That is something that you have because of the tightening to the tissues and the musculature and everything underneath the musculature. As my doctor said, he created a corset underneath. That corset holds everything in place for 10 to 15 years. The third area where I've seen tremendous gain, and I'm so excited about it, is the upper lip. So right after I had the lip lift, like that day, my lip did swell up. Pretty much the rest of my face didn't swell as much right at first, but my lip and my upper lip was big. It almost looked like someone had punched me in the mouth. But then over a matter of months, my lips went down, and what I noticed was that my Cupid's bow, which the doctor promised me he would restore, came back. And it's a beautiful, natural, contoured Cupid's bow. Let me get right in there so you can see it. And the lip has a beautiful little curve to it. Let me show you profile. My lip has a nice lift, a nice little pout, and the Cupid's bow, and the shorter distance, which is the fulcrum between the nostril and the lip, equates with youth. I will not need lip fillers going forward, which I'm jazzed about, and I can wear glosses and just, you know, don't need a lot of lip product, and my lips look great. So perfection. The next area that I have seen great gain in recently would be the lift of the brows. I had the temporal brow lift because my brows were becoming very downturned, and you can see in the pictures my eyes were sort of looking half shut, my eyes were looking downturned, but my brows were really kind of creeping down, and between the eyes and the brows I could not get that open eye, well-rested look, and now I think I've gotten it. It's a lot easier to apply my brow product. It's much easier to apply my eyeshadow. And honestly, it reminds me of when I was in my 20s, I had really large open eyes. And people would say to me, relax your eyes, don't stare. And I would say, I'm not staring. I am relaxed. This is my gaze. And it's really uncanny and surreal to get that open eye look back at age 69 when you're pushing 70. So bravo, bravo, bravo. And then finally, the two last areas that are probably the most important areas that I've seen great gain with in months 3 and 4 post-op would be my high cheekbone area and the shape of the jaw. Chisel jaw, high cheekbone. The biggest payoff, it's been terrific. In late month 3, early month 4, when the swelling of the face actually really receded, that I could see my high cheekbone, I could see the contour of the face, which I was just really hoping for. And then I started to notice the jaw being super chiseled. I thought that I had a great jaw in months 1 and 2 because it was so tight and smooth compared to before the facelift. But when you reach months 3 and 4, you really start to notice the lean, tight, chiseled look that you've been given. And it's such a great gift. So I'll turn to the side so you can see my profile. So I've been very pleased with the cheekbones and the shape of the jaw. And again, all of these have sort of kicked in to a new level, to a much more visible level during months 3 and 4. Supplementation. I'm a big believer in eating healthy and supplementing with a customized supplementation routine that meets your body's needs. And I've been supplementing for probably 10 to 15 years. Prior to undergoing any type of surgery, they do ask you to stop utilizing your herbal supplements about 2 weeks prior. And then I was given the green light to start using my supplements again about 2 weeks post-op. So I did some research and I customized what I would normally take to make sure that I was using supplements that really enhance the immune system. I would love to share what I took and why. Here we go. Of course, you want to be taking your vitamin C. I use vitamin C in a form called nano vitamin C. And many of the products that I take are nano products. They're available on Amazon and they are manufactured by a company called One Planet Nutrition. You can see their label right up here. The absorbability is heightened because the particles are nano-sized. It's recommended to utilize these by a doctor that I follow, Dr. Russell Blaylock. He has a newsletter. He's fabulous with nutritional supplements and studies supporting them. And so you want to take your vitamin C on an empty stomach. I also was taking, and I continue to take, quercetin. Quercetin is an enhancer for vitamin C. Both of these get your immune system going, and they're powerful antioxidants. One of the reasons that the body inflames and you see all kinds of puffiness and bruising is from inflammation. So any product you can take that's an anti-inflammatory or an antioxidant is going to absolutely enhance your recovery process. I also was taking bromelain. Bromelain is the extract from pineapple. It's the enzyme in pineapple, and that is known to reduce swelling. It's fabulous for post-surgical therapy. So take bromelain, vitamin C, and quercetin, and you'll be off to a great start. Cat's claw is another great one. It actually has plant chemicals in it that reduce inflammation. So again, less swelling. I take cat's claw once to twice per day. Theaflavin is another great one. This is black tea extract, powerful antioxidant. It has a little bit of caffeine in it. Another supplement that I love is Nano Boswellia serrata. Boswellia is both a powerful antioxidant and an anti-inflammatory. I take it twice per day. One of my favorites is Nano Curcumin, again from One Planet Nutrition. Curcumin, which is turmeric, or some people call it turmeric, is that Indian spice that's so healthy. I take it once or twice per day, and this is good for so many ailments. But when it comes to recuperating, recovering, anything from a fall or surgery, curcumin is fantastic, and it absolutely energizes the immune response by the body. Maybe because I spent 35 years in the beauty industry, I'm not really sure, but I love to take supplements that support skin, hair, nails, and work on the skin from the inside out. So I take from two different scientists, two different doctors, I take two different supplements that sort of come at helping the skin, supporting the skin from different angles. Total Beauty Matrix, it has the biotin in it, the folate, the zinc, the copper, the selenium. Very, very good at smoothing out the skin, helping the hair to grow, helping the nails to grow. I did start taking that 2 weeks after my surgery because I knew that that was skin focused. But then the other one is from Dr. Gundry. It's called BioSkin Youth Complex. BioSkin Youth Complex is a complex of nutrients that work together to give you visibly younger looking skin. I take 2 of these per day, and they smooth my skin from the inside out. And I just want to stress that you should get approval from the doctor or the staff before you start on supplementation after the procedure. Scarring and possible side effects. The potential for long-term scarring creates real fear in the minds of many, and rightly so. It's your face. Now, most of the time, a great surgeon will bring this up. Actually, they brought it up in all of my consultations. People are very curious as to how each procedure will scar. I had 5 procedures, so I was very curious, especially about the temporal brow lift, which would be done just a little bit in front of my hairline at my temples. Dr. Ozzie really put my mind at ease about the issue of scarring during the consultation. I remember that he brought up that he actually has special techniques surgical strategies, the way he stitches, etc., that minimizes and in some cases eliminates visible scarring. And also, I did read the reviews. Dr. Uzzy does facial plastic surgery, but he also does Mohs surgery, and all of the people were talking about the eradication of scarring and how shocked they were at how beautifully their skin healed. But you have to remember that scarring and the way that you heal is very personal. You can't compare yourself to anyone else. It has a lot to do with your genetics and also your state of health. Also, pick the right doctor who has a focus and an attention on reducing and eliminating visible scarring. Let's look at where my different incision points were at 4 months post-op. In the upper temporal area above the eyebrow, what you're looking at now is a little bit of a whitish, kind of a frosted color scar right along the hairline. It's very minimal. It's difficult to see unless you're right up against me. And even then, with makeup, it's completely covered up. I have no concern about pulling my hair back. I wear my hair in a ponytail or on top of my head literally 99% of the time. And I am not worried at all about any types of scars on my forehead. He did a great job. When you look behind my earlobes, where there was quite a bit of cutting done, you'll notice that it's still a little bit red. I feel my skin back there being just a little bit tender, a little bit itchy because there's still a lot of healing happening. Very positive to be looking so good considering that that's the major incision point. They go all the way around the ear and slightly into the scalp. They also cut right in front of the earlobes, and I like to show you that area. In front of each earlobe, I have a very, very tiny, fine incision line that's visible. Again, you can cover this up with makeup, concealer, foundation, tinted moisturizer, tinted sunscreen. It's very difficult to see, and I want to repeat that I have no concerns. I'm not self-conscious at all when I pull my hair back in a ponytail. I think it was my follow-up appointment at week 3 when Nurse Catherine said to me, you should probably start using some type of scar protection, a scar gel. So I looked for a scar gel with sunscreen because I wanted a dual purpose, dual function product. And I found one that I love. It's Biocornium SPF 30. It's available on Amazon, and here it is. And Biocornium is great because it has a UVA, UVB protective sunscreen. You use it twice a day on clean skin. It's a very lightweight, very silky gel. We know that when direct sunlight touches the areas where you have those delicate incisions and those healing scars, the healing of the scar is stunted and it will turn bright red and it really won't heal the way it's supposed to heal. So it's very important that any time that you go outside and you're walking or even in a car that you have some type of sun protection on. And I like to make sure I also have those areas protected with the scar gel. Then I put my tinted sunscreen, SPF 46, all over on top of where I put my scar gel. And then on some days, I actually put my foundation over that has the SPF 50 because I do walk a lot outside. So I wear my safari hats, which are very, very floppy, and I have all my sunscreen protection, including my scar gel, and then I'm set to go. Price. Let's talk about the big kahuna, the big question that everyone has when you're watching. You just want to know, how much is it going to cost me to get this done? Well, first of all, you can't use insurance. This is definitely an elective procedure and you're going to be paying out of pocket. So remember that. Unlike when you get an upper eyelid surgery, a blepharoplasty, or even my breast reduction, which many young women were able to get through insurance because they had issues with their back, etc. Now, I consulted 4 plastic surgeons. The quotes that I got ranged from $21,000, $22,000, $24,000, and $25,000. 3 of the plastic surgeons had built into those quotes $6,000 or $6,100 to cover the cost of a surgery center and an anesthesiologist. My physician did not. His quote was for his work, and the work was done on premises in his office. There was no extra cost for anything to do with a surgery suite or an overnight stay, hospitalization, nursing, or an anesthesiologist. So keep that in mind. While the quote from Dr. Uzzi was the highest, and it was just slightly higher than the third quote that I got, maybe $1,000 more, but the body of the quote contained 5 procedures. The other doctors were doing 2 or 3, and they weren't going to do a lip lift, and in most cases, 2 out of the 4 weren't going to do the eyebrow, the endoscopic temporal eyebrow lift either. So they were doing less procedures for not a lot less money, and a good portion of their quotes went to covering the surgery center costs and the cost of another doctor, an anesthesiologist. So I was paying all of my money for the actual work that my doctor was going to do on me and nothing else. I like that, even though this did not make up my mind, but I do think it's a very important distinction and nuance to remember when you get these quotes, that because Dr. Uzzi is not doing general anesthesia, the way that the quote is built is very different from the way that these other quotes are built. So be savvy about that. The pricing is different, and I just wanted to point that out. One more point regarding pricing. You're going to find that the pricing for facial plastic surgery really changes depending on the demographics of where the plastic surgeon is located. So for instance, in Beverly Hills, what my research told me is that those procedures generally start at about $50,000 and can go up to $100,000, $150,000. You're paying for the market, and you're going to support his beautiful or her beautiful spa-like offices, a staff of, probably 20 or 30 people. They may have their own overnight hospital, their own nursing staff. You're paying for all of that. If you have a more modest budget, you should be smart and look for a really good doctor, the best doctor you can find in a more modest area, because he will charge appropriately and proportionately to what the market will pay where his offices are located. Now I'd like you to sit back and relax, and I'll show you a composite of before and afters, and then just some great afters from my healing process during months 3 and 4 post-op. I'm currently, as we film this, 5 months post-op. I want you to notice the difference from where I was in the part 1 pictures, where they were all from month 1 and from month 2, and then these pictures from months 3 and 4 post-op. Enjoy. so much for viewing part 2 of my Miracle Facelift and for hopefully subscribing to my new channel, Reborn at 69, where we discuss some really exciting and interesting topics that are relevant to all of us that are just trying to be our best and live our best life, starting in our mid-50s and marching forward. And don't forget to like the video so that we can build followers. Please share with anyone you know that's considering having facial plastic surgery. And it's been a real pleasure to have you view, have you sit with me. I'm honored, and I look forward to the next time that we're together. Thank you, stay well, and take care.